Good question. What crypto are you most exposed to? Long term and short term. So, what crypto do I have the most exposure to? I would say Ethereum because as you guys know me, I dabble in lots of altcoins. So most of the altcoins I have, the trading pairs are Ethereum. So indirectly, I have exposure to Ethereum, and then I also own Ethereum as well, Ether. So yeah, short term and long term, that's the most. Long term, just kind of being Token Metrics is an altcoin platform, and Ethereum is really the platform for altcoins. So obviously, it's not beat Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is just by itself. So Ethereum and the altcoins being built on Ethereum and DeFi with decentralized finance. So long term and short term, I'm basically all in on Ethereum, and that's why I've mentioned this a lot on the show. I know just on other interviews that in the next 10 years, so by the year 2030, in my opinion, Ethereum and Ether will surpass Bitcoin in market cap. Now, all the Bitcoin maximalists call me a pagan, you know, whatever moral judgment they have towards me. But the data is the data. If you come in this without having any biased opinion, if you come in this with a blank slate and say, okay, these are two different projects. Ethereum has a growing developer ecosystem that's growing and growing and growing, and in my opinion, could eventually surpass the ecosystem of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin the community is bigger than Ethereum right now, but I think in 10 years, Ethereum can have a bigger community because there's so many things they're doing. Then if you also look at DeFi, I know it was up and trending and it kind of seems like it's overhyped, it's a bubble, but it's still early. There's lots of bugs and issues from flash loans to glitches happening. But just think about this. If we take the derivatives market, which is about a $500 billion market, and if we tokenize that, what platform are we going to use? In my opinion, Ethereum, not Bitcoin. And that's kind of already happening. That's what's happening with DeFi, with platforms like Compound, Synthetics, DYDX, Uniswap. All the entire derivatives market, in my opinion, is being built on Ethereum with DeFi, and the Ethereum developer community is growing. This to me is a no-brainer. Ethereum in 10 years, unbelievable. Obviously go to our platform and view our entire review on Ethereum. But we're very, very bullish on Ethereum long term. Now, that does not mean we're not bullish on Bitcoin. This is the part where the tribalism in crypto becomes very, very toxic, because people think that when you think some other project is going to do better than the other project, that you automatically mean that this other project is trash. No, Bitcoin, in our opinion, is still a good project. Right now, Bitcoin has better ratings than Ethereum on the platform, but projecting out 10 years, we think Ethereum has a probable chance of surpassing Bitcoin. Now, that does not mean it's 100%, but it also does not mean it's 0%. Right? In our opinion, that just means that we think the chance is probably higher than 50%, meaning that more than 50 out of 10 times Ethereum wins. So with that being said, Bitcoin is still a great project, still great technology, still a top 5 project, top 2 project, in fact. Now, in 10 years, things can change. And we're saying that as value investors who go against the grain, who do opposite of what other people are doing, we think Ethereum is primed to perform very, very well.